You do your thing.
All right, let me know when we're live.
We are.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Live. Hey,
Do it. We'll do it live.
We're doing it live. All right, cool. I will stop fiddling with my shit. Hey guys, thank you for hanging out with us. This is Don't Feed the Gamers. We are accompanied by our lovely, lovely writers that you guys don't really get to see a whole lot, but you do get to read their awesome works. We have got Chris Callis, Stash, Mercury, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, I butchered names. He's a writer. He's the newest team member of ours. He's super rad. We've got Corey Lara. We've got Hoy. I'm not going to butcher your last name. I love you too much. She is a writer and editor. Ryan is our newest streamer. He streams on Tuesday nights. And of course, Chewy, who is the co-owner and my player too. And I am LiLi. And we are hanging out. Perfect timing. We actually have this scheduled because we're all playing Mass Effect and nerding out. And we planned this about 2 weeks ago. And it ended up perfectly because a new patch came out today. So we're going to pretend we synced that up on purpose. And we're going to talk some Mass Effect. Because obviously you can see we got the Mass Effect shirts. We got Shepard and Omnitool. Like we're huge Mass Effect fans here. And aside from the ending of Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect Andromeda is probably one of the most controversial titles, maybe other than Dragon Age 2 in regards to reception. There are two very vastly different spectrums. There are the people that thought it was still amazing. Yes, they noticed there were differences, but they still thought regardless of that, they were able to see the narrative throughout the differences, and they absolutely loved it. Then there's the people that absolutely hated it, thought, threatened to burn the place down, angry people. And then you had a very small sect of people that just didn't really give a shit either way. They're cool too. But I don't know, we talk about it a lot. A lot of you guys know we have a partner page that is the largest Mass Effect fan page on Facebook at the moment. So we see a lot of the contrasting opinions there, and I thought it'd be cool for you guys to kind of talk with us a little bit and hear some of our perspectives on the games. I have not talked to anybody prior other than Hoy about our thoughts on Mass Effect, so this could go either way. So we'll see. But before we get into everything, there's just one thing I wanted to lay as kind of a groundworks for Mass Effect Andromeda. If you don't know, it's the space RPG by BioWare, who was published by EA. One thing that I don't think a lot of people realized was it was not the original team that worked on the trilogy. It is a new, much smaller team. It was a newer studio because they wanted their main studios to really be focusing on the new IP that's going to be coming out in the next couple of years. So by doing that, they kind of pulled their resources. So very few of the people that were the original team of the Mass Effect trilogy were even a part of Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda is also the largest title in the franchise. A couple areas were larger than the entire Dragon Age 2 game. So being the fact that it was the largest game, it was the first time that a Mass Effect game used the Frostbite engine, which is usually made more for environmentals, not so much for situational dialogue. So there was some kind of miscommunications there. Also, a newer animation team. For a lot of the people that were a part of Andromeda, this was actually their first video game ever. I don't think a lot of people realize that too. And a lot of people are comparing it to Witcher, even though it had half the budget of Witcher. And it had 65% less of a budget than Inquisition had. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Dragon Age Inquisition got a huge backlash for the glitches. A lot of people were saying it was unplayable. They actually pulled the DLC was supposed to be available for last gen and this gen, and they pulled it because it was just not playable. That's how bad the backlash was. And they had 65% more of the budget than Andromeda had. So hopefully that puts things a little bit into perspective as to why it's a little bit different than the caliber of, say, Mass Effect 3. But let's not forget about Creeper Shepard and how shitty Mass Effect 1 looked with their wooden teeth and the creepiness. So what we wanted to do pretty much is kind of just go over the skeleton of the title. Feel free, chat is open. This is live, so feel free to chat. Keep it respectful, we ask. And yeah, I just kind of want to hear, so going into it, obviously there's a lot to cover. This game can be up to 150 hours campaign. It's very, very open world. What were some of your guys' first impressions of the title? Ryan, what you got for us, boo?
My first impression actually kind of solidified itself at the beginning of the very first mission, which is when your preferred rider is tumbling through the air, falling down to the quasi planet below, and I was immediately hooked. BioWare definitely told you face first that, hey, this is going to be a thrill ride. We're not going to let up, and everything is just going to be getting thrown at you left or right until the very end of the game. And they did not disappoint.
Cool. What about you, Hoy? What'd you think?
I think what was most enticing was just getting back into a Mass Effect game. And the environments were beautiful. The plant life, just the graphics were wonderful. And the particle effects were awesome. The biggest, most off-putting thing I think had to be how a lot of the characters look like sex dolls in regards to facial expression. And some people like the sex doll look. I don't.
I mean,
and it's just dead eyes, and I get that. I get the gripe about that, but at the same time, it wasn't something that took away from the experience too much, because I knew that there were gonna be glitches and stuff like that. So I came in with a more forgiving perspective or mindset when going into Andromeda.
BioWare's kind of known for glitches, though. I mean,
yeah,
you could literally watch hours and hours of compilation videos of some of the most hilarious glitches you will ever see. Like, I have a screenshot of like every time I would go into a cutscene with Dragon Age Inquisition, and it was just Cullen's head. Like, it was just this floating head throughout Skyhill.
Or misplaced
John beat the
hands.
genie.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it's just. I mean, I wasn't surprised by the glitches because I thought that's kind of BioWare staple. What about you, Corey? What'd you think?
So Andromeda is actually my first time playing a Mass Effect game.
What?
Because I see when the first three came out, I never had anything that could play it. I couldn't get a PS3 or a 360 because I was a broke college student. I never had a PC that was worth a dang that could play it. So this was like finally I have the money to play a Mass Effect game now. So I was curious, especially considering that this one is kind of meant to be a reboot for the franchise a little bit. To start off with its own characters and stuff like that. So I've only played, through the first couple hours of the game, but I was surprised at how, fast I was able to adapt to the gameplay. I was able to pick up the controls pretty fast. I didn't have any frustrating moments or anything like that. I really think the look of the game, it just looks really nice and crisp. Like the locations look awesome.
Yeah.
I've delved a little bit with the characters yet, but I haven't seen a ton of their dynamics with each other. But I know that's a big thing for the franchise, especially with the the dialogue options and the romance choices and all that stuff. So I knew that was probably yeah. So that was, I knew it was gonna be the big thing for me to to get me invested in it, and so far I'm liking it. What I've played of it, especially considering that Mr. Krabs is the voice of the writer's dad.
I love it. You would say that was. You would bring mention of that. I like it.
Are you feeling good, Mr. Ryder?
You guys are nerds. I love it. What about you, Stash? What'd you think? First off, before you start, this kid is the worst with spoilers. I had to delete so many messages in our work channel because I'm like, no.
Yeah, just a warning for everyone watching.
Yeah, obvious spoilers.
Just as a forewarning there, yeah. No, when I first started, it started off nice. It was almost a throwback to Mass Effect, the first Mass Effect, and that's the one that I liked that one the best of all four of them, I guess you could say. But then I ran into glitches, and I had my whole character deleted at one point, which has actually turned out all right. That was after they fixed the eye things. So
the eye thing.
Starting out, it was rough.
The eye thing was pretty bad.
Yeah, starting out was rough.
What platform were you playing it on?
The Xbox.
360 or Xbox One? Oh, that's a dumb question. I'm an idiot. Okay. I'll go kill
I saw
myself.
the Xbox.
I have it for both PS4 and PC.
Well, I have it for Xbox One and for PC. I don't know why. I think it was a loyalty thing because the Mass Effect trilogy originally was an Xbox exclusive, but PC is so much better.
Sam.
Chew, what'd you think about it?
So, all right. So I feel like when we were going into it, there was a lot of people who were playing the demo right beforehand. You know, and we were getting the negative feedback of how everything was bad and whatnot. So kind of took a step back. Like, okay, maybe it's prepare yourself. It may not be as awesome as you're expecting. Man, were they wrong. You know, you get in there and you play that first beginning mission, you get on that first planet, you're jumping around, you're like, this is awesome. Jetpack, sweet. I'm smoking aliens, like these brand new aliens that you're just meeting. I don't know, it was a blast. And like Stash said, you know, you're finally getting back to Mass Effect 1 kind of feel. That's what it was. I don't know, it felt more to me, especially as you're going around planets and you're getting a chance to fully explore and go out there. That's what I really loved is getting into that feel and have a little bit more free reign rather than like a linear kind of feel to it. I loved it, and man, was the hype real in this house beforehand. So glad it lived up to its hype in this household.
Okay, well, clearly everybody who knows me knows I'm like absolutely fucking obsessed with anything BioWare. That doesn't make me like a blind fangirl. Like I totally ripped Dragon Age 2 apart, but I'm totally with Chew and I'm with Stash. Like I loved this because it did remind me of the aspects of Mass Effect 1 that I did later come to enjoy. I love open world games, and the fact that this was truly open world, much like Dragon Age Inquisition. Like you had so many different areas to explore. Every world looked completely different. Kadara looked completely different than Herval. Vold looked so completely different from Eos. Like every area had something completely different to offer, which I loved. And I loved jetpacks. Don't ever do away with jetpacks. I had so much, like I never walked anywhere. I just kind of pew myself through space and time. But I did really enjoy that. And my first impression, like these guys said, it was you're kind of just thrown into the action. I think where it lost a lot of people, and it was the same thing that lost a lot of people with Dragon Age Inquisition. 18 playthroughs of Dragon Age Inquisition, 28 playthroughs of the Mass Effect trilogy. Doesn't mean I can't recognize that there are shitty parts to it. Eos was the hinterlands of Mass Effect Andromeda, and I feel like for people that are either not well versed in open world games or get overwhelmed really easily, I could see how it could feel like a whole lot of nothing and everything at the same time, because you're immediately thrown into this huge area that you're exploring with no navigation whatsoever. They have the fast travel points or whatever, which I liked, but it was very, I don't know. My first impression was I loved how big it was. And it felt like a Mass Effect game without trying to replicate a Mass Effect game. Like, I feel like they would have really fucked up if they tried to replicate Shepard, and the fact that Ryder was so different than Shepard and more realistic in the terms of it's not a war hero, it's a kid who just lost their parents, and they have no fucking clue what they're doing. They're just kind of riding by the seat of their pants. And I felt like Ryder was really relatable. Played through a Scott and a Sarah, and both were incredibly relatable. What's up?
Yeah, where Shepard seems like he was born with the military haircut, firmly intact. The Ryder siblings definitely seem like they're just this cool dude or this cool chick that you appreciate having as a friend, that just got thrown into the fire. So it's definitely nice seeing them do something very different for Shepard. Also building on what you said about EOS being hinterlands. Oh, absolutely. I want to give a nod to BioWare for actually forcing you off of EOS. not too long into landing on the planet. Essentially, a couple gunfights, a little nomad traveling, and some space sudokus, and you're gone. Which is nice. They really helped kept the ball rolling, and they kicked you off the planet right after something amazing that happens too. So it was very hype building compared to the hours and hours and hours you spend on in the Hinterlands.
So many bears.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And
But
bandits.
yeah, no, I agree with you completely. I thought they did a really good job. It's so funny too. Like I clearly, I've already dropped a few here. I'm a connoisseur of the F-bomb, and I love it because there's so many times like Sarah would be talking to somebody, then she would be like, "Oh fuck," or
Yep.
"Oh shit," and I'm like, "That's my girl. That's what I just said." Like I was like, "That's me." Like there was a relatability. I could relate to Shepard because I was in the military. And so there was a symbiotic kind of relationship between myself and the archetype of Shepard, but that's not the case for everybody. And I would consider myself a nerd over a veteran and trip over my own feet and drop the F-bomb in places I probably shouldn't. And I feel like they did a really good job. And it's so funny because a lot of people that complain about Ryder, they're like, "They're writing shitty." And it's like, well, what's shitty? And then they'll quote lines. I'm like, you do realize they were trying to convey an awkward. They're like, well, it wasn't smooth. It's like, it wasn't meant to be smooth. Like,
It's meant to be relatable, which it worked. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And
In real life, people don't always have the good one-liners.
yeah, right? We don't have a team of writers just like following us around and be like, what do I say? It's not Facebook, like where we can edit ourselves.
In real
Yeah.
life, character development sucks.
Same.
Yeah,
Truth.
true that.
Yeah, so yeah. but I liked it. One thing I will say too is, I guess I could go on to that a little bit later. I'm kind of like just getting into the groove of talking Mass Effect, and I'm getting all over the place. But okay, so back to what we were kind of talking about when we first started this stream is good timing on our part, purely accidental. We totally meant to do it. Is the big patch, one of the big patches came out today. There's a bunch of patches lined up. So if there was something you were hoping to see, and it wasn't in this one, and it wasn't in the last one, don't panic. There's like 9 more patches on the way. That includes changes to the romance, changes to narratives, all kinds of character customization changes. But this one in particular really focused on, EA has the boards where you can report an issue. And so they were really combing through that and fixing the issues that they were seeing on the board. So the more and more people reported things, the more and more they were able to kind of pinpoint exactly where that issue was happening and making sure it wasn't just a one-person issue. So, typing McTypeperson. They had that, and then they had the Blasto t-shirt, which is awesome. And then a couple Nomad skins, giving a nod to Rex and Tally from their original trilogy. Have you gotten a chance to check it out, or what are you guys' thoughts on the patch? What about you, Stash? What'd you think?
Stash? Did we lose you?
Did we lose you?
We
No,
got
no, he's catching up with us.
That was crazy. That was insane. What'd you think about the patch that dropped today?
Starting
we're
to get a
having
little glitchy. What's where are we at right now?
Did
Stash
you
is Gaff.
did you check out the patch that came out today?
No, I haven't actually touched it yet. I've been like headlong into Prey, so I didn't have any chance to first bin yet.
Yeah. Who has checked out the patch? What'd you think?
Actually, a couple things truly spoke to me on a intimate level. The first being Sam no longer telling me when I have new emails, when I do not, in fact, have any new emails.
5 times in a
Seriously.
row, brah. Like,
I'll leave the bridge and I'll go back to the bridge, and he says it like 3 times during the back and forth. It was crazy. Another thing that I really appreciate is I am a completionist. So as soon as I started getting that mini quest that wouldn't go away, which involved crafting a nomad shield,
I had that one too.
I'm so happy. Well, I mean, it's just you make it, and it just doesn't go away. It still wants you to make it. So you can make like 10 of them, and just the quest would still hang. So I'm glad that they fixed that. That's all I have off the top of my head. I'm just glad that they're listening to community feedback and they're making changes.
They made a casual Vetra outfit. If you romance her, they give her a different outfit, which is kind of cool. They need to do that for all of them. What I want is more Reyes fucking Vidal. Yeah,
Yes.
assholes.
Agreed.
Put him
Right
on the
here.
fucking
I agree.
Put him on the movie night. Put him. He deserves booty time. I'm just putting that out there.
Report for booty.
Report for booty.
Space Evron.
Yeah, he is. He's Space Efron. Like, nobody could tell me differently. Fuck everybody else if they say no. You're wrong. You're entitled to your wrong opinion. Anybody else check out the patch or at least looked at the article we have on the site for it?
Yeah,
I haven't had a chance to. Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Chew.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna feature the new shirt really quick on the stream.
Blasto, man.
Yeah.
Blasto is the business. I think that was awesome. Dude, that's a perfect example, though. There are so many Easter eggs to the trilogy. Like, you can see a movie poster of Blasto, and Garrus is on the cover. And you can get logs and hear Liara's voice again. If you did the Family Secrets mission, you can hear the Reapers. There's so many nods to the trilogy, but if you're like Corey and haven't played the trilogy, you're not going to be lost. Like, they did a really good job of regaling, like, what the Genophage is. Why do we give a shit about the Genophage? What happened, with Shepard? I thought that was really, really cool. I love... Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't had any moments at all where, like, I'm wondering, like, who is this? What are they talking about? And feeling like I'm missing something from, like, the original trilogy that I absolutely have to know going into this. I've so far had a pretty good time of that. I also haven't faced any of the, like, issues that, like, it's seen here that the patch fixed. I haven't had any of the facial animations bug out and, look like the Shrek bloopers or anything like that. So that's good. I'm looking at the Blasto shirt right now, that photo of the Blasto tank top, the gym outfit. This photo of Scott Ryder looks like that infamous photo of Speaker of the House Paul Ryan when he's at the gym, like, just lifting and stuff. Like, that's what I think of when I see this.
Sarah looks bomb as hell in it. Like, I have a picture. If you go to the Mass Effect Fan Collective Facebook page, you can see I put a picture of my Sarah. Plug. But I put a picture of my Sarah, and, like, she looks sexy as fuck. But they straight up turned Scott into a dude, bro. Like, one of my friends, Scott, has, like, got the hairstyle that goes like this, and it's blonde. And I was just like, oh, no. Please don't wear the shirts. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I saw that photo of your Sarah Ryder earlier, and that I didn't know that was yours because I was just dazed out of work mode earlier. But that's a pretty good. I like the hair on your Sarah Ryder. Reminds me of Haley Williams of Paramore.
I used to have hair exactly that color, and my other Sarah had the hair color I have now.
Yeah.
And then my Scott just looked like a regular dude.
Your Sarah looks great in, like, that photo. It looks like, like a good Nike ad or something. But the Scott photo that they looks like like a dude, like, on Instagram, like, like he's posing for a new 50-gallon water jug or whatever.
He's the ultimate bro.
Yes, he's an Instagram model. Get that money.
That's too funny.
All right, so
really quick though, one more thing I wanted to say on the patch though. I haven't got onto it yet, but I will say that I can appreciate the fact that they're finally taking in issues, stuff like that, and working correctly. Because though I didn't have as many issues as LiLi,
oh my god,
some of her stuff were straight game breaking almost. Like, she missed out on a whole mission because there just either wasn't a way to get to the mission.
My first playthrough, I couldn't do Vetra's loyalty mission.
Just wouldn't even let her land that location.
I never could go to Planet HR, whatever the numbers were.
04217
Yeah.
whatever.
And then the second playthrough was fine, and then I started up the third one. I slipped. My hand slipped. You know, what are you gonna do?
I mean, I had small glitches where
like at one point, I was on the ship and like all that was visible was somebody's face like barely peeking out of the chair. The rest of the body was in the chair. But I don't know. Everything. It's great that they're finally starting to address that. So that's all I got. I haven't dug into the new patch yet because I really like my playthrough. So it'll be a little slow. My second playthrough. Unlike Lily, who's probably on her 12th by now.
What you mean?
Shame.
What you mean, girl?
Shame.
Yeah, what you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't obsess. Okay, so overall, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but so to kind of capsulize it a little bit, what was one thing, and you can by all means feel free to go into what you enjoyed overall, but if you feel like you've already said your piece on that, what's like one thing you just absolutely loved about Andromeda? Chris or Corey? Jamie first.
Yeah, it's hard to say right now. There's not. I don't know if there's any really one thing that like sticks out to me as like the thing I like. Is like the thing I love about this game. I think just everything is just for me. Just it's like a really solid. Just everything's just well balanced. Like there's no like one particular character that I really like latch onto or anything like that. But like each one's got like a decent enough like personality of their own to like contribute something to the story. The gameplay is pretty good and solid and fluid and yeah, it's especially for someone like me who's just coming into the franchise, so it's not alienating at all. It's nothing that like I like if I am somehow able to luckily play through this game again. I don't know if like I don't know if I'll do another playthrough, but I am enjoying what I have played so far, and that's I think just everything. All of the different factors, I think, just all work well enough to keep this game like really compelling for me.
Rad. What about you, Hoy?
Rad. Let's see. As he was talking, I was like, yeah, all these ideas, and then it kind of just
and they're gone.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I have to agree with Corey as well. There wasn't specifically one thing, but what I was looking forward to the most when going into Andromeda was the new characters that you're going to meet, and just knowing that, they're probably all going to be really lovable. There's going to be something that you pick out of them that you really like, and they're going to have their vices as well. And I wanted to experience all that. I didn't want to necessarily get too much into the old characters because I kind of wanted to leave that. The trilogy is a trilogy. Making cameos and Easter eggs, that'd be great, and that happened. But I was just really looking forward to meeting the new characters. And yeah, I think that was one of the best things. And the combat. The combat was awesome. I love the flamethrowers. I didn't use that too much. I usually, most of the time, I use the tech. I was a tech for the most part in my playthrough. That was really fun. I used the turret and then the remnant.
Nice.
So the gameplay for that is really awesome.
I like it. What about you, Chew?
Everything. Well, I think I already kind of touched on this a little bit, but I guess just the ability to have more kind of free reign on where I wanted to go, instead of like I was saying about how before it was a little bit of a linear story with Mass Effect 2 and 3, how you couldn't really run around the Citadel too much like you could on Mass Effect 1, where this kind of gave more of a feel on like Mass Effect 1, how you had more of a free reign. So I don't know, I really appreciated that. And like I said, I liked getting to meet all the new cast and see what the new issues were going to be. And exciting to start again. Whole new story.
Yeah, the part of starting again, I think that's definitely the grand appeal to Andromeda, for sure.
What about you, Ryan?
As some of you
Right.
may know by now, as some of you may know by now, I am a dirty Final Fantasy whore. So I am all about the story and the character. Be quiet, Hoy. The story and the character interactions.
Dirty horror.
I mean, you're not wrong. So going into it, I really appreciate the small touches that BioWare did for the game. Even something as simple as the crew logs that you could read through at the base level of the ship. The thank you emails from your crew members after you have a discussion with them or a meaningful interaction with them. Even the funny things like, for example, on Vold, if you're driving around in the Nomad with PB and your Angaran crew member.
Jal.
Thank you, Jal. Okay, it's been a long day. PB and Jal, she is constantly getting annoyed because it's PB. She gets bored, and all Jal does is sleep when you're driving the Nomad. It's like driving around in a car with a baby in the back. All the baby does is sleep because it's restful. Anyways, she decides to start making sex having noises with Sarah Ryder to see if Jal is actually asleep or if he's faking. And Jal's just like, okay, I should get out and give you guys some room. So just simple things like that, simple, honest, hilarious touches are what make the game for me. And BioWare did such a good job at throwing a lot of that at us.
You're complete, dude. Can we just take a second to appreciate the fact that Drac is the grandpa that's on Facebook? Yeah. Like when he sent that first email, he was like, "Sorry about your dad dying. Here's what makes me feel better." And he sent you a bunch of bootleg pictures with like watermarks and stuff of it of like pixelated guns because he can't figure out technology. It's like, oh my god, he's the parent / grandparent that's on Facebook and like, how do I type a status? It's a Krogan that cares. He is. He like, and even, dude, real talk. So the first playthrough, there's a chance when you go to meet the Archon, you can either, spoiler, you can either save the Krogan or you can save the Solarians. I saved the Krogans the first time, saved the Solarians the second time. Oh my god, I wanted to like restart my entire playthrough. Like, he's so disappointed in you. Like, he's not even mad, he's just disappointed. And like, you have to do so much bullshit to get his like loyalty back. But you can get it, but like, he still guilts you like a grandpa. And like, I don't know. I agree with you. Like, the character dynamic, that's one thing I really liked. And I could also pair this as something I didn't like too, is it had a very natural progression. Like, Hoy, you and I, we actually became friends through the site. And it was a very slow friendship. Or we became friends on Facebook and then eventually got closer to the site. It was a very slow. We didn't really talk a lot. We would do like hesitant messages here and there. Now we talk every single day. And like, that's the nature of IRL relationships, is it's not boom, we're suddenly besties. And like, I like that. And and like a lot of people complained about that with Andromeda, like, oh, I can't get to know them. It's like, but you have to keep talking to them. After every mission, you need to talk to them. And I like that level of realism. It was frustrating sometimes, especially with romancing Jal the first time, because he is the longest romance. You can't even flirt with him until you've completed all of his loyalty steps, and he's got the most amount out of anybody. You're constantly having to prove yourself, and only then can you begin to flirt. Like, it was very satisfying romance. Quickly became one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise, but you had to work for it, and I didn't like it and I loved it at the same time. I feel like it pushed a lot of the more casual players away, but for the people that are not new to BioWare, like Dragon Age, Star Wars, I feel like it was, what you got to do. You got to get in there. You got to build that relationship. And I didn't like how you don't even meet Reyes until like the middle. Like, I thought for a while my game glitched out. I'm like, where is this? mythical, beautiful man that I keep hearing about, and I don't see him. And like, you don't even like, and that's why I feel like the 10-hour demo was the dumbest thing ever. Because 10 hours probably seems like a lot, but for a game at the size of Mass Effect Andromeda, it's just the tip. But people are like, shut up. But people are like, they're judging it off of that, but you don't even get to meet half the character. You didn't get to meet Jel. You didn't get to meet Reyes. You didn't get to settle a planet. You didn't get the gratification of settling a planet. You didn't get anything. But by that point, there was so much negative press that people already had it in their minds of, I hate this piece of shit game. Da-da-da. But I really loved the character depth. I loved the realism of the conversations. There were some, all RPGs have the opportunity to go the cheesy route. And I feel like a lot of the conversations were very realistically written. We're just going to pretend that my face is tired line doesn't even exist, because I don't know if that was like a BioWare writer that was mad that day. So he was like, I'm going to troll the fuck out of this game. My face is tired. Like,
the writing was tired.
Yeah, I can't imagine a writer actually thinking that's a good line. And then I did notice, though, because I did, just for the call, I did the first hour with a new playthrough for the patch. And they didn't fix the line, but they fixed the context she said it. When you first played the game, before any patches, she's like this, and she goes, my face is tired. And she's like mad, but you really can't tell. And then now
she had Botox.
Yeah, and then they fixed the shading so her eyes feel better. They muted the clown makeup, so she looks better aesthetically. But then now, when you go to talk to her, she goes, sorry, my face is tired. That's more natural to be like, like, that's expressive. Yeah. And like, I feel like if they would have done that in the beginning, they wouldn't have had all that negative. But I hope BioWare learned their lesson. I hope EA gets off their balls a little bit and lets them do their fucking thing, because a lot of the issues that people have with Mass Effect Andromeda, and they had with Dragon Age 2, was not from the BioWare team. It was really from the publishers. The publishers put they restrict their budget, but they want tenfold productivity. But I really, going back to the original, I really loved the character development. I loved the combat with the AI. You could adjust if you wanted to be tech, if you wanted to be biotic. You could change out your playstyle, which is really cool, because in Mass Effect Trilogy, you were stuck to one. So that was really cool. I like that. I think they did a good implementation of that. But that maybe is just me. But, I mean, there's also a bunch of shit I absolutely hated. There's stuff I don't like. Just because I'm a fangirl doesn't mean I can, I'll ignore some of the other issues. But, I mean, that kind of brings up a good point. What was some of the stuff you guys didn't like? Hoy, I want to hear your thoughts. I don't know why I made that weird. Sorry.
Well, first I wanted to see if anyone wanted to add to that, like what was their favorite parts or anything. And
actually, I didn't even give my things I liked yet.
Oh yeah. Shit! I'm sorry. You gotta just interrupt me, brah. You know I'm Southern. I talk.
But actually, it actually bounces right off of that. Mass Effect 1, I love their skill systems. You had this expansive trees where you could just, okay, this is how I want to play. Made it very personalized. The Mass Effect 2 and 3 came along, and it was very almost simplified, where it was, there was a couple options, but it wasn't anything like that. For Mass Effect Andromeda, I was hoping they would bring that big skill tree back, and they brought it back better than before. With with everything you could do with it, if you wanted to be, I played a tech character that used biotics just for the shields.
I think that's awesome.
Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the that's added on to the sci-fi, like it made it more immersive. No, I feel you 100%, my friend. I didn't mean to cut you off and not give you a chance to, like, you're not allowed to say what you liked about this game.
Going into it, I was kind of hoping
Freddie Mercury.
I was really hoping for a lot of those kind of back to basics kind of things, the Nomad coming back, the big wide open spaces, and they took everything from everything that I like from some of the better parts of the next two, and then just improved on everything. I like that.
Hell yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, Hoy. Give us what you got. What are you laughing at? What's going on?
You're so weird. I love you, but you're so weird.
Why am I weird?
I
like it.
I like it.
Really quick, Stash, if any of us interrupt you, please feel free to start singing Don't Stop Me Now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball.
In fact, he actually wants you to sing it.
Yeah, I kind of do. I kind of want to see you sing it.
I kind of do too now.
No pressure, though.
Let's see. Well, in conversations like this, I feel like I need to hear other people's thoughts and ideas before I can, because as I was playing it, it was easier to pick out what I didn't like and what I did like. But as soon as it's over, I'm just like, whatever, fuck, it's just a game, let's just keep going. I want to proceed. I'm not really a completionist personally. I'm more for the RPG aspect of it. I really like the story. I just want to get to know the characters. I get very sentimental. Surprise.
Same.
And let's see. I think the biggest thing is the amount of glitches I got. It was hilarious. My Nomad got stuck inside a vault.
I do remember.
What?
You should put that screenshot in Slack, and it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I sent all these screenshots. I was loading into a vault or something, and it just completely blacked out the screen. And I waited like 15 minutes trying to see if it would reload or it would just continue. And what had happened was I just exited out of the game, reloaded the last save file, and my Nomad, I was inside the Nomad, and my Nomad was also inside a vault, teetering on the edge of a cliff. Oh man, it was so funny. I got out, and I had to take so many screenshots.
What a time to be alive.
And another time.
Wow, that's a cliffhanger.
Another time I was driving on one of the desert planets. I think it's the last one, not Eos. Eladin. I was driving, and all of a sudden my Nomad disappeared, and I just started running. The Nomad just disappeared.
I hope it was at the speed of a Nomad too.
65 miles per hour, just.
Boy gets lost and runs into Finn from Star Wars.
But there wasn't anything I particularly didn't like, but it was so awesome seeing the glitches because most of them were pretty fun. So
They're just so hilarious. Like, you gotta if you take those kind of glitches seriously, it doesn't impact your gameplay.
Yeah,
it's funny. Like, lighten up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of disappointed I haven't seen any of the big glitches, like the big dopey facial expressions yet in my playthrough, because I think and that kind of deals with my kind of only kind of complaint so far with the game is that just that the way that the characters kind of interact with each other, sometimes it can be for a long stretch just kind of bland and feels like we're just space army men just doing our job, they doesn't seem like they're Yeah, I'm because I'm so used to franchises like Guardians of the Galaxy and Aliens, where the people that are all on a spaceship together are just constantly just either bickering with each other or just making lighthearted jabs at each other, but still they're having some good camaraderie around there. Whereas these guys kind of feel like that times they can be kind of rigid, especially Costa and them. They're just oh yes, I think that is an idea. I think we should do that. Yes, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's still good, and they're good characters. Just times where it feels someone tell a joke or something to ease the tension in this. So that's why I would actually kind of welcome having glitches in my playthroughs, but so far I haven't encountered that yet.
Really quick, we got a question in the chat. Is it worth the $40? it was worth it for the $60 I paid for it. So yes, if you get it for $40, it is on sale. It's a good point. Get it for the $40. It's abso-freaking-lutely. Keep an open mind. Know that it is not Mass Effect 2. It is not Mass Effect 3. See it as a standalone game that it is.
Yes.
And know that most huge RPGs, it's very slow to start. But yes, it's worth it. My opinion, at least.
Replay value is also very high, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm on my third playthrough right now. Not bored.
Does anybody else have any opinions on it? The answer
That was Chew's way of being like, LiLi, shut the fuck up.
No, I'm just saying.
Savage.
Do we all agree or just one answer? I mean, for me, I don't know. I personally like the one playthrough. It'll probably be a while till I play it again. But I mean, like LiLi said, if you keep in mind that it's from a different studio or from a different team than the original trilogy, it had less funds. It's its own thing. You keep in mind that you're playing something new, but from the same kind of story arc-ish, then it's definitely worth the $40. Don't listen to the negative connotation that's been thrown, because I don't know. My experience of trying to deal, like I said when I was talking about my first impression, is I was going into it expecting those, that negative connotation, and I was like, this is further from the truth. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
I would say listen to the negative, but do just that. Listen. Don't be like, oh, well, one person said it's horrible, so fuck this game. Because there's so many people that I see that violently hate on it. Like, there was one guy that ended up getting banned because he was going on and on and on about how he wants to rape everybody on the BioWare team. And then come to find out, he never even played it, nor did he even touch the demo. So it's like, you're literally just a sheep, dude. You're hyping up on a bandwagon that you know nothing about.
Yeah.
It's okay to listen to feedback. Like, I don't ever want to tell somebody not to listen to anything negative, because feedback is how games get better. That's how developers learn. That's also how community members can give back to the developers, be like, this is what we felt. Especially for a game as dynamic, or a developer as dynamic as BioWare, it's good for them to listen to that kind of stuff. So don't not listen, but don't just focus on the negative, because for every one negative thing, there's one person saying something negative, there's 5 people saying something positive. So just weigh it as an opinion objectively, and then see for yourself. But I really feel like, and Chew agreed, I think everybody else agrees, but feel free to chime in. It's worth it, especially if you're a Mass Effect fan, because it has so many elements that are very familiar in the Mass Effect franchise without being a replica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as a newcomer, like, I was, I was just curious to, try the franchise out, to begin with. So I was perfectly fine with spending the $60. Actually, I think I spent I had a slight $8 discount or something like that, because I pre-ordered it on Amazon and I have Prime and all that. So that was a bit easier. But definitely at $40, definitely you're gonna at least get your money's worth. If you're someone who equates the gameplay hours to per dollar kind of ratio, you're definitely going to get your money's worth there. And if you're a fan of the series, you're probably going to at least want to check it out just to see where the franchise is now. But for someone like me who is kind of coming into it new, if there is if you can get it for $40, I'd say it's pretty good for $40. If there's any way you can, if you have a friend who has it, maybe give it a try. Is there a demo at all for Andromeda?
Don't go off a demo.
Okay.
Just get it. Just get it. It's worth it. It's on sale. Don't. That's what fucked up so many people, is the demos, and you're also not going to get the patches with the demo. All right, but we are gonna roll it on through, just because we don't want this to be a 5-hour stream. Who, I have short-term memory. Who has not said what they didn't like?
Dash, I think.
What you got for us,
did
Boo?
like.
What you got for us, Bill?
Yeah. You know what I didn't like? The lack.
Ooh, you got serious. Y'all know what I did.
But that's been an
y'all
aspect thing
today?
that they do, that they don't, their facial thing sucks so much. It bums me out. But yeah, that's my biggest. That was my biggest
Yeah.
pet peeve.
Looks like we're getting some technical difficulties.
That I understand different species, but I don't like it. I didn't like it. It just kind of bummed me out. I mean, Mass Effect, like you go into Mass Effect and you have a million different species. You've got the Vorcha, you've got the Krogans, Solarians, Turians, you've got
Khakis.
Blasta.
Hanar.
Oh, I don't even remember what he is.
Hanar. I think we're losing Stash.
The Hanar, the Drell.
You know, all these, the Rachni Queen. You've got all these different species. Am I back here? Maybe.
Yeah, we're getting like weird
hey.
times where you like just kind of freeze and you cut out.
Oh, lame.
I think Chris is slowly turning into the Geth. Does this unit have a soul?
No.
Let's get the
slowly deteriorating. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you though. I feel like it was.
Yeah.
But you know, we didn't see the Drell in the first Mass Effect. We didn't see the Hanar in the first Mass Effect. We didn't see a lot of those races in the first Mass Effect. And keep in mind, they've tampered with this idea that Mass Effect Andromeda will be another trilogy. So we might, you know, keep hope alive. That's
the whole thing. They explained it. They explained like it wasn't a populated area. Yeah. It was created to be populated. So I mean, I can understand it. So hopefully, maybe in the future, we'll see something a lot more
diverse.
Yeah. All right.
That'd be cool.
We're gonna try to figure out what's going on with your. Okay. So who else hasn't said anything?
I don't think I've said anything as far as what I wasn't really a fan of. I briefly touched on Space Sudokus. It got a lot of hate when the game came out. I don't think it's that bad. I certainly appreciate the extra step they have you take before you have to solve it, where you have to go around and scan the glyphs. That's something. Although honestly, they probably could have thought of something better than just, in essence, picking up a newspaper and grabbing a pencil.
Space Sudoku.
Right? I personally hated those, and I just had to get over it and deal with it for this game. Other than that, where I said previously I'm a kind of a completionist, missions not flagging properly during certain stages, even just the miscellaneous ones, drove me crazy. LiLi, I mentioned to you that there was a certain mission that I just, I ended up pulling my save file back by about an hour just so I could potentially avoid it, and it, didn't work. That being said, patches do exist, so things are getting better, and I appreciate BioWare for doing what they're doing.
Absolutely. All right, so now we're going to talk about what I want to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Corey brought it up a little bit earlier, that booty. So my first playthrough, I didn't say what I hated, but I've talked enough. My first playthrough, I romanced Jal. And halfway PB. And then my second playthrough, I romanced Gil and Reyes.
Oh.
Because they don't know about each other. Apparently, I'm having a baby with Gil. It's interesting. Shut the fuck up.
Oh! Sweet moment.
You know what? I will say this about shit I hated. Shut the fuck up about Jill. Like, dude, it was so weird to me. Like, they wrote that he was a gay romance character that was gay exclusive, but it's almost like they wrote him for straight women. I want babies. Like, he's essentially in a relationship with Jill. Like, there's even a line, even if you're in a romance with him, he goes, "What do you think about me having a baby?" And Scott literally says, it's obvious you love her, start a family. And it's so funny because to me, I feel like they wrote him, even though he's a gay romance character, so, like, God forbid members of the gay community have romances written for them. I feel like it was written for, like, straight women. Like, I mean, not that I'm complaining, because I love me some Gil, but, like, it was just, you could not have a conversation with him at all without him bringing up fucking Jill. Like, we got it, bro. You got friends. Congratulations. We're talking about us now. I'm trying to bone you, and I can't do that because you keep talking about some broad that I haven't even fucking met yet. Like, even when you, like, go hang out for the first time together to go play poker, first thing out of his mouth is, Jill wasn't sure you were coming. Bitch isn't here. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know. That bothered me. Like, it puts it, like, I loved his romance, don't get me wrong. It's absolutely adorable, but, like, dude, I'm just trying to get to Bone Town. Like, quit talking about this chick that's, like, get 2 seconds of screen time. I don't know. I didn't like it. But
LiLi truly cares about your feelings.
I mean,
I just get to Bone Town, man.
It was just so just weird. Like, I don't want to hear about this chick 24. I mean, it's as bad as Sam with emails. Like, have you heard about Jill? Hey, in case you forgot, I have a friend named Jill. Jill. Yeah, Jill. Like, okay, we got it.
Did you see what Jill was wearing yesterday?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I don't know. It was just so fucking weird to me. Yeah,
Taboo.
That kind of blends my hated and favorite romance. But I gotta say, for chicks, Jill, it's worth it. It's so much hard work, and you feel like there are so many people that are like, oh, I didn't even realize you could romance them, because that's how hard it is to even open up the flirting options. But I feel like how in the Mass Effect trilogy they really favored Liara and Garrus as the romance. They had the most amount of written content. I feel like that's how Jal is. Like, his romance was so in depth with so many different issues and different dynamics to it that I feel like they kind of want you as Sarah. Mm-hmm. But Jal is my favorite. Reyes is my second favorite because he reminds me of Zephyrin, who was my favorite romance in Dragon Age Origins. He needs more screen time, and I need a romance scene. Pushing me up against and blacking out does not mean shit to me. Sorry, BioWare. Get it together.
So much left to the imagination. Oh, man! Woo!
Yeah, like.
I mean, you also can. You also can make out with him on a roof on Kadara. I mean, there's also that.
You kiss him, and then it pans out.
Just, some exciting drunk blackout screens making out times.
Versus Jal literally goes, you're both butt ass naked, like there's Angara booty just jiggle, 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 and he fucking gets down on you, and then don't even get me started on the Cora and Scott one where he's like, yeah, like it's ass. And
grinding intensifies.
Oh my god, Lily. Okay.
So you're telling me Cora gets the ass and titties, Jaw's like, ma 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 ma, and he fucking Reyes gets out, I love you. Like, what? Like,
yeah, Pixar it didn't happen.
I was upset. I do. I have like 500 screenshots. My screenshot folder. Don't judge me. Like he's my favorite. On for Scott, and then yeah. So what about you guys?
Yeah, let's move on to a topic LiLi cares about.
That's what I care about. I'm not gonna pick whoever wants to talk next, because I don't want to like pick somebody that feels like I'm like picking on you. What you got? Fair romances. Finger guns.
Okay, I'm up. Who am I currently romancing? I am trying to get into. It's been so long since I've played. Suvi, that's the one. I don't know, something about that accent just does it for me. That's a great accent. Unfortunately, you don't really see much interaction with her other than just her, plop down into the pilot seat, just kind of hanging out there. I really wish they'd do more with it. Maybe I just haven't gotten far enough yet. Movie night has yet to come up for me. I know there's a lot of interaction that happens at movie night. So hopefully something else happens. But other than that, I'm just romancing Suvi. I also had my fling with PB, because of course I had my fling with PB. Yeah. There's nothing quite like space bot sex, apparently. So.
Wait, it was butt stuff?
Space
what?
pods.
It was. Oh, I thought you said.
Well, zero gravity in the in her escape pod.
I thought you said space butt stuff, and I was like, I didn't know that you said butt stuff. I just.
It's PB.
Space butt stuff.
All I'm gonna say about that is it's PB. So
PB, open the pod bay door.
I'm not going to talk about the ambiguity of each of the companions, but if someone would be down for it, it's probably BB. So.
It's so cute though. She like, even if you're romancing her, she's constantly trying to get after Jal. Like she's always like flirting with them, right? Go ahead, Hoy. I know you got shit to say. You let it out. It's a safe place.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay. So, back to what also Ryan said earlier, like a couple questions back. When PB and Jal are in the Nomad, there's this one conversation. It's hilarious. PB calls his neck flaps.
Yep.
And she's like, "What were you doing singing? And what were you applying to your neck flaps?" And apparently it's hydrogenated ash salve or something like that. And she was making fun of them. But their dynamic is really cute. And so is Jal and Liam's dynamic. Like it's kind of like a big brother, little brother kind of thing going on. But if we're talking about favorite romance, okay, I'm not copying Lily, but this is for real. Like Jal, Reyes, and then
That's my girl.
I mean, PB is kind of like a
side hoe
there for everyone. She's a side chick, and she was a really fun side chick. Like not gonna lie. And then along the way, I ended up accidentally romancing her almost.
I did it to me too. And you have to,
she uses the remnant to confess to you. She's like, "Hey, so this is gonna be like really cheesy, but you kind of like." She said some cheesy line like, "You got your way into my heart somehow." So this is why I pre-recorded this message. I'm sorry, spoilers.
It's all good.
I'm like, she's laughing then. Spoilers. No,
sorry.
The way she said it too,
spoiler.
You got into my heart.
Yeah. And it was just, and Suvi is adorable. I think if I were to do a romance, a female romance, I would go for Suvi. She is so cute, and her accent, I love it too. And she's just, she's a sweetheart. And I don't know, she licks rocks, you know?
For science.
True.
So, yeah, it's Jal, Reyes. Reyes is so, like, that's all I gotta say. I got really excited, I apologize. Anyway, whoever's next.
If we lost you, you can disconnect if we lose you, because it looks like you're having some tech difficulties.
You guys can't hear it, but I'm playing a little bit of
Central Sac.
Oh, nice.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. What you got? Who'd you like to bone? Stash. Bone Town.
Bone Zone.
Bone Zone. Yeah, I like that.
He is talking. He just needs to catch up.
We're having tech difficulties. Sorry, guys. It's so weird.
I think he's muted.
I imagine he's just saying just the filthiest story possible.
He just gave us the secret to life itself, and we can't hear him. Just so you guys know.
Stash, are you muted,
It's just,
man?
I imagine he's just going very in
And
depth.
I'm like, fuck that tight ass.
Fuck that.
You made that bitch
Yeah.
scream.
The fruit.
We appreciate you, Stash.
You appreciate you, Stash. You're not even
You're such a
saying
good
things. You're
sport.
giving such
Like-
quality
Alright,
time.
we got a thumbs up, so he can hear us, but
You can use hand motions if you want.
Do you like?
vulgar hand motions.
Do you like?
Someone bust out the flashcards.
or Gil?
Or neck flaps.
Wait, I wish I had like a box of cereal for like Vetra. Afra, because she's
that'd be good.
weird. Or Susie.
Oh my goodness. What's happening?
Alright, we're gonna move on. Chew. It's sounding like they fucking God.
Well,
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
I don't think Tally's in this one, bud.
That's
Or-
his one and only love.
Oh.
There can only be one.
Emergency induction port.
Alright,
Alright,
well, I saw only really one option that I wanted to go for, and I spent the entire time going for that. I didn't have any side booty.
Oh.
So I only went for Phoebe, and I played out that entire relationship. It was great.
Good
Aw.
man on the straight and narrow.
I was also a fan of Liara too, but
Can I just say, because
Yeah.
we game in the same room, he would be completely quiet, and then all of a sudden I'd hear, I'm like, what? What are you giggling about? He's like, she just said the cutest thing.
Aw. Sorry, not sorry.
this hoe is loyal.
Good man, good man.
Oil. Well, Corey, you haven't romanced anybody yet.
Yeah, I haven't gotten far enough into the game to really to even come close to getting a romance partner or whatever. I'm probably it's gonna probably come down to how much my character clicks with PB. It'll depend if I really gel with her personality or not, because I tend to be very personality focused with my relationship stuff. So it'll come down. It'll depend on how I feel about her, and if not, I'll probably just try to go after Cora probably. Although if it was an option, because I'm looking at the list of options of characters you can romance. Because if I would also like to try to go for just the ugliest alien possible, and just try to flirt with them. So someone like Neckmore, to see if I can. But it looks like he's not an option, so I don't think I can go for him.
So far, is it safe to say that the only Mass Effect Andromeda character to be inside you is Sam?
So.
That was perfect though. Segue to the next one, because I'm gonna go on a rant. I'm gonna put my glasses on.
This is her first rant of the night.
'Cause I need to see for this.
Prepare yourself.
All right. Disclaimer: no character hate. I understand people see different things in different characters. What somebody loves in one character, they may hate in another.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of her, bleep this out. Fuck Cora. I can't stand that bitch. This bitch never shuts the fuck up. You are not a fucking Asari. I don't even know that every 2 seconds. Congratulations. I mean, it's like Jill, but
It's
with
bad.
her, you're not a fucking, my father just died. I was an Asari commando.
It's funny because that's exactly how it
I was
happened.
an Asari commando.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not the Pathfinder anymore. But I was an Asari commando. Oh my god! You should have been a Pathfinder because you and Sam could have just chirped at each other. Oh,
Yeah.
you have an email. Well, I was an Asari commando. Well, but you have an email. But I was an Asari commando. Fuck you! Fuck you! She was such an insecure hoe bag. I don't know. I could see why people liked her. They're like, she was insecure. She found a home. Totally get it. Didn't click with me. I saw it as, bitch, nut the fuck up. We got shit to do. Shut up. Stop whining. You're not a commando. You're a fucking Pathfinder. You're on the Pathfinder team now. Let this shit go. Fucking, flip side though, not a character I hated. I wish Ephra was a romance option. Because holy shit, he was so angry, and I just tap. I just wanted to tap that. Okay, sorry. All right, characters you hated can be a squad mate, can be just an NPC, that NPC that just randomly stops you and says "fuck your father." It can be anybody you want. Who's the character that you just could not click with or jive with Andromeda?
Freaking Addison.
Oh.
Yup.
True.
Yeah, I just thought I'd just throw the easy one out there first. She is such a pain in the ass. You just worked your ass off colonizing a planet, doing every single minute thing possible to make sure you've got as much viability as possible. for the planet, and she's like, all right, it's a step, I guess. Keep going. It's like, you do it yourself then.
It's because her face is tired, bro.
I'm tired of her face.
No, in the book, she was just as much of a bitch too. Like,
I believe it.
Dumbass.
Yeah, she's probably who I would say too. She's the only one so far that I've really not, even from what I've talked, my conversations with her so far. Yeah, she's not really that fun to talk to.
Her and Tan, man.
Yeah, it's like she's like whenever Carol Burnett goes into just really angry mode, it feels like I'm talking to the ghost of Carol Burnett. I know she's still alive.
The details.
But like it feels like if Carol Burnett had died and they exhumed her corpse and then she came back to life and is angry about having to be back on back into the corporeal realm, that's what it feels like I'm talking to.
Oh my god.
That's so detailed. I just love that.
Oh, thank you.
That was amazing. All right, who else?
It's not gonna be. I'm jumping on the bandwagon too, I suppose, because there's not really anyone else that it jumped out as me as I don't really like them. It has to be Addison and or Tan. Tan, I get sort of, but I would not be friends intentionally with a person like that because they're too conniving, too sneaky, very much like the interview with the voice actor was like. I was just like,
Yeah.
You're a Slytherin. In the way characteristics of a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
Slytherin, whatever.
No lie, spoiler for the book. He was a fucking in charge of supply.
Wow.
In the book.
Yeah.
He literally only got to leadership position because everybody else was dead. And he, in the book, he completely, basically told Kesh she was a piece of shit every chance he got. The book made me hate him so much more.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
They didn't touch on that too much in the game, but, they kind of told them, you're literally our last resort.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, dude.
I haven't seen a ton of his conniving, kind of actions so far yet.
Oh, you will.
But I know, I'm sure I will. But I love Kumail Nanjiani, just as a performer. And I just love the way that he delivers, his way of delivering lines. To just make it seem smarmy, and also smart alecky, but just still kind of funny. So if anyone is gonna play that role, and I would still find a way to still like them as a character, it would probably be because of his performance. So I have a feeling I'm still gonna be nowhere near as annoyed with him as I will be of Addison.
Yeah, for sure.
Touché. All right, Stash, we're gonna try it again. Who'd you not like?
Tan. Absolutely hated Tan.
I love that look on your face when you said that. Without a question, I'm going ham on this dude.
Every chance I got, it was like if I had a chance, not that I needed his permission, which is the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, oh, here, I'm going to tell you how to do your job, but I don't know how to do your job either, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, dude. He's like a retail store manager.
Yeah.
He's like the epitome of retail.
He's kind of like... I almost hated him as much as I hated the reporter from the Shepherd series.
The
one that you can punch.
Renegade that bitch every time. Male Shep, Fem Shep didn't care. Bitch just punch. I love it. Renegade. Even if I was going pure Paragon, I always hit that Renegade. I like it. What about you, Chucho? What you got?
Alright, so you already kind of touched on it, and I know in this household, I already had verbalized my thoughts on her, but I also found Cora to be insanely annoying, and I was very tired of her character. In fact, only except for the starting missions did she really join me for anything, and then otherwise she was just kind of a person that I talked to on the ship. But you already kind of touched on her, and then outside of that, Sloane was a quick death for me. And I know you might not agree with me because you're in the middle of reading the book and you're a little attached to her right now, but
It's between her and Reyes. Mm.
But yeah, she was. There was no questions asked. She was a quick death as soon as possible. As far as Sloane goes.
I like
That's actually
it.
a really good point. Like Sloane, she was an easy like kill for me.
Same. Like I was trying to think of what I would do if I was a Pathfinder. Like your entire job is to make places safe for your people. This
Right.
bitch has already proven that she does protection fees. If they don't pay, they get beaten, oftentimes beaten to death. There were clerical errors where people who paid the fees still got exiled, got fed to fucking cannibals. Like, you had your chance, you blew it. And Reyes, he like, as soon as he solidifies the alliance with you, he gives you money, food, and no protection fees, nothing, right out the gate. And in the final mission, even though Sloane does the same thing, he's right there on the sidelines with you in the final mission. Like, dude is good. Dude's good. Fuck
Although I
Sloane.
can understand why people didn't like him as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's like a well-written character though. Like when you have like a violent reaction to a character, whether it's like violently lustful in the loins, or you're violently like fuck that dude. Like that's a well-written character.
Not literally though.
But literally though, the loins they were fired. Wait,
They're frothy.
they were.
Oh
That's
man,
such a gross word.
that's a weird word to use for your loins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
frothy.
Moving on, and actually building off of Sloane / Reyes. During that little showdown in the cave, I have to say that the Care Bear side of me came out, and I actually pushed Sloane out of the way, out of danger, and then I saw the events that happened afterwards, and then I reverted my save and let her die because fuck
Yeah,
Sloane.
you did. Yeah, you did.
I was just like, you know what? It's a lot less messy, and I would choose Reyes over Sloane 100% of the time anyways. So I just let it happen the second time. Also, on top of that, even if you break off a relationship with Reyes, he's still all about like, you know what? I at least want to be your friend, and I will still honor every single thing that we talked about. I got you, fam. So that was great on Reyes' part. I know what I said.
I haven't gotten to this point yet, but I probably will end up choosing. If I have to choose to save someone, I'll save Reyes because homeboy Hispanic, mi gente, gotta save him.
Here's the thing. I like Sloane. I really dug her character. Not because I thought she was a good character, but I liked the depth they gave her. Reading the book made me like her even more because she's very crass, and clearly I am too. And I'm also, my writers will tell you that I'm very straight to the point when I need to be. Like, if there's shit that needs to be handled, we're not having side conversation, we're getting the shit handled, we can talk later. I like that part of her. I don't know if that's just my military aspect, but, like, I like that part of her. But would I want the bitch running my outpost? Absolutely not.
She reminded me a little of Jack.
Yeah!
Mm,
An older, tired,
Jack.
ugly
Lots
person.
of other things, Jack.
Lots
Yeah.
of other things. I did like the dynamic between her and Kitus, though.
Yes,
And the book
me too.
heavily alludes to the fact that they were romantically involved.
Not gonna lie, Sloane's style was pretty baller. Like I liked her style.
I love her eyes. I wish they gave you the option to do that in character customization, where you could have the mismatched eyes. I thought that was rad as fuck. I was like, dude, this bitch looks like she's gonna fucking eat your children for breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, given the cannibal issue on Kadara, maybe she was. So
Yeah. Oh, speaking of like side missions though, there's so many hilarious side missions. Like there's one, spoiler alert, it's a minor side mission. If you don't do it, it doesn't impact the game at all. Called SOS on Kadara. And get this radio that's like, please help us. We're help us. So you're like, fuck, I
Like a
gotta
death.
help these dudes. They're dying. And they're like sitting on a couch like this, and there's plants all around. He's like, yo, dude, can you get us those chips? We're like baked, man. And like, pretty much the whole narrative is they're stoned out of their fucking minds, and they thought it would be funny to do an SOS call to see who picked it up. But like, that attention to detail to me was just hilarious. And like, I don't know, that's the Kadara that Reyes runs.
And a funny thing on top of that is it because BioWare, it actually benefits you helping these guys in a quest that's on the entire eastern side of Kadara in comparison to where they are, because there's this guy that needs biotics, excuse me, and Anturian's like, yeah, I don't know how you're gonna find these antibiotics, but if you manage to find some, come back. And these guys stoned out of their minds are like, oh yeah, it's also an antibiotic, but 420 blaze it, yeah. So just
bam, 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 bam.
Thanks, BioWare.
Smoke weed every day.
Dab. There we go. I was gonna say the dab king over there. All right.
What does he have in his hand? Okay.
Oh, Chew?
Yeah. Oh,
it's a Wiimote.
Oh, okay.
Do you have what is that? Oh. Weird.
Damn it, Chew.
I like it. All right. One thing I do want to talk about, because I see a lot of it on the pages, is the cat. A lot of people were really underwhelmed by the cat, thinking like, what a pissy little, like the Archons, what a pissy little big bad. But I want to redirect our attention back to Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1, we didn't know anything about the Reapers. We didn't know shit about shit. We thought the Geth were the big bad. In retrospect, the Geth are what? Prissy little bitches. So I'm just saying that my advice to anybody looking to get into Andromeda or has ill thoughts about Andromeda because of their choice of baddies, give it time. Because I have a feeling it's going to be a get issue. Because they say, and I didn't catch it my first playthrough, and I only caught it my second playthrough. In the game, it says that the Ket came from another galaxy. So how we came from the Milky Way, they came from somewhere else. And if you remember in the trilogy, that's how the Reapers traveled through dark space. I have a feeling, especially with that final cinematic, that there's something much bigger behind the Ket. And I feel like the Ket are Andromeda's version of the Geth, where it's a means to an end, but it's not the end. And I feel like that's why people were so underwhelmed, because if you look at forget what you know about Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. I got you, Ryan, here in a second. Forget what you know about Mass Effect and Mass Effect 3. When you first played the first Mass Effect, I don't know about you guys, but I felt underwhelmed. Like, yeah, you see the holographic image of Sovereign, but you don't know shit about shit. You don't know anything. All you see is the Geth. And then you see the final battle with Saren and everything. But to me, in relation to where 3 is with the massive army of Reapers that are again, doing what the Ket are doing with Exaltation, they're doing the same thing of changing creatures into their own creation. But when you look into the relation of Mass Effect 3, the big bad of Mass Effect 1 wasn't anything impressive. And I feel like people are judging Mass Effect Andromeda off of Mass Effect 3, when in relation they should be comparing it to Mass Effect 1. Because that's where it's at in the new franchise. But that's just my own personal opinion, and I would definitely be interested to see because I've never talked about it with anybody else. I've just seen people bitch into oblivion on the pages. So I would be interested to see what you guys thought about the Ket. Do you think that the Ket were prissy? I did like the fact that it was more realistic, with Mass Effect, with Reapers, it was like this, you didn't think you were going to win. But right now, they're establishing the story. It's not about the big win. It's about establishing the story. But I'd be interested to see what you guys felt about it in relation to the bigger picture. Or do you think it's the end-all, be-all? Or what did you think about the Ket? What did you think about the exaltation process? I definitely want to hear some other perspectives, because all I've got is my own opinion. So whoever wants to take that lead, have fun. Ryan, you were busting, so go ahead and let it out, buddy.
You kind of alluded it. You mostly alluded it to. I was drawing parallels between the Ket and the Collectors from Mass Effect 2, because that is essentially what they were doing. They also actually look a little similar, a little bit, at least the same color scheme, basically. So there's a lot of theory crafting you could do as far as the similarities between the Ket and the Collectors. Maybe the Ket were a rogue version of the Collectors that left the Reaper's control somehow. Just tons of different things you can do. But that just alludes to how free, or how many things BioWare can really do with the story, especially at the end of Mass Effect Andromeda.
really quick, I gotta pick it up back off of that because that was perfect. Remember Meridian? What is it? Jadan, who are the creators of the Angara people. One thing I want to notice is the Ket. You see, sorry, Corey, major spoiler.
Oh, it's all good.
You see the exaltation process of the Angara. You literally see them change from an Angara to a Ket, and it looks exactly like the Ket you see everywhere in the game. So you know the Ket that we see are Angarans. However, when a Krogan was changed, they still looked like a Krogan. So the original Ket are Angarans. So this is just theory, complete theory at this point. But my theory is their Ket are the Angarans were created as a show. What we do know from the game, the Angarans were created as an experiment. We don't know if they were created to be a weapon or to combat a weapon, but they were created for some reason. And I feel like with that level of scientific intricacy, I feel like you said, and that's what triggered that thought process of, I feel like there was some rogue testing that happened, or somebody in the Jadan or Jadar, I can't remember what it was called, was not on board with the project anymore. So they made their own rogue Angara, and that then bred the Ket. And then they had how the Geth, or how the Reapers were with their creators, the Leviathan, they revolted. I feel like the Ket was the revoltation, and then they're doing this exaltation power process to become higher than their creators, the Jadan. And I feel like that was maybe that could be pure theory, speculation. There's nothing to support it other than little things I said, but I would like to see that fleshed out a little bit. Sorry, I heard you say it, and I was like, oh man, if I don't say it now, I'm going to lose the thought process forever and ever and ever. Sorry, man. But yes. Fuck yes.
Quick question. What were all those things that you just said? What were those words? I understood.
Corey has not played that far in the game.
I understood about half of those words.
Well, if it helps, I'm pretty sure I said most of them wrong because I don't know if it's Jadad or Jadar or.
It's fine. So yeah, no, you don't have to worry about spoiling anything for me because I'm gonna forget this all in 10 minutes.
I like it.
So it all works out. Actually, I kind of have to get going and get ready for work tomorrow. Is it cool if I duck out?
Yeah, man, you're good. Yeah, this lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Cool.
I went off tangent.
So it'll give you guys the chance to also not worry about saying spoilers that I won't understand.
I like it. All right, man. Well, for anybody tuning in, this is Corey, our writer.
Before you go, what's your quick thoughts on
Ket that you've experienced so far?
On what?
Ket that you've experienced so far.
They seem all right. Those are the bad guys, right?
Get out of here.
Yeah. They seem. I've only encountered them on that first mission that you do so far. So to me, they're just kind of they're just the generic, kind of almost a hive mind sci-fi alien race or whatever. So I haven't really gotten a chance to really see into their, greater, I can't say humanity, but more just their motivations or whatever.
Machinations.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious to see, because based on that first mission, I am curious to see what all their, that all the technology they have does, and and what their motivations are and that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that they are more than just a two-dimensional generic sci-fi alien race that you just have to destroy and not understand at all where they're coming from. I do kind of hope that from what I encounter with them, that they are more in depth than that, and they're not just the punk ass whatever. What did they call again? The Ket?
Ket.
Yeah, so I hope that they're more than just some punk ass cats.
Actually, pulling off that real quick, I know you're heading out, but that's pretty much what I thought of them up until that main mission on Vold, when you see what they're doing with the Angarans. That added a humongous level of gravity and fear and concern as far as the Ket goes that you didn't really have before that happened. Even you're gonna come up to it relatively soon, but even when Maya escaped with the ship, the Tempest, you weren't really concerned, but what happened on Vold really changed the dynamic between your thoughts on the Ket.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Please look
Yeah.
forward to it.
Oh, I will. I definitely will. I'm gonna shoot him up and then feel bad about what I've done. Probably.
Yeah.
No.
Don't feel
Maybe.
bad.
Take Jal on that mission with you.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get a lot. All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks for tuning
Cool.
in. Everybody who
Yeah.
knows, that was Corey, one of our writers.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Take it easy, bud.
Bye.
Bye.
Look at that picture.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Love it.
All right. Hoy, what you got? That's
Um,
hilarious.
Actually, I feel like I may be the odd one out here, but I was pretty underwhelmed by the Ket in general. Speaking about Vold, I didn't get that holy shit feeling when you find out they're experimenting on the Angarans.
Angarans.
Like it was terrible, but the biggest part, the most holy shit part was when you find out that the Angarans were being created.
Yeah.
I flipped out. I was like,
Me
holy
too.
shit. Oh my
I
god.
had Jal with me and I felt so bad. I was like, oh,
Oops.
Yeah.
yeah. For real.
And that, I mean, I felt like they took kind of like the bad guy characteristics from the trilogy, kind of copy and pasted it a little bit on the Ket, and I was just like, okay.
I see it. There's very similar themes, like the exaltation and what was it called when the collectors did it? There was a name for it.
Wow.
Assuming
Wow.
control.
Yeah, but no, I agree. I don't know if it was lack of creativity or they were trying to have an overall same theme to keep it as a Mass Effect feel. But I do hope they flesh it out in the future. But given that final cinematic, I really think that's what they're planning on doing. And I feel like there was a couple choices in the trilogy where it bit you in the ass later. And there's one side quest called Knowing Your Enemy that you can choose to buy loyalty from a Ket. And they're like, if you do so and so, I'll give you a free pass to kill the Archon because I want you to kill the Archon. And you have the option to say, yes, I'll take your intel. You can walk free.
Oh.
Or you say no, and the Ket looks at you in the face and says, no, that's a different place, not the one where you could shoot him. Or the Ket says, you'll never see me again, but you'll regret that decision. And
Actually,
I feel like that's cool. What?
Yeah.
That was a priority mission. That was one of the main
Was it?
missions. Yeah.
Know Your Enemy. It's one of the
Priority
where
ops.
you have the option of meeting this person, right? They're like, we got
Yeah.
intel for you. Yeah, I just didn't do it. I don't know.
Looks like you're gonna be starting a second playthrough.
Yeah.
You need to play a
I was
scout.
like-
It's fun.
No, I looked at it and I was just like, man, I gotta get Jaw in my bed. So bye.
Bye. That's hilarious. Yeah, dude, I feel like that's gonna be one of those major choices that because like with Malin's data, if you destroyed it,
Oh yeah.
he's gonna die. Like you have these catastrophic events from the first Mass Effect. You have catastrophic events that affect you all the way up until Mass Effect 3.
Mhm.
I've played enough BioWare games and enough times. I've gotten every outcome you could possibly get in Mass Effect Trilogy. I feel like that's going to be one of those. So if they come out with the Mass Effect Andromeda 2, I would do another playthrough and get that because I feel like if not, that's going to be one of the ones where they make the decision for you and the default will be like you turn down the data because they like to fuck you over if you choose default. So like
Even in Mass Effect 3, they're like, there's no way you could have known. It's like, yeah, they're alluding to the fact that you were like, oh, this is morally messed up to keep the data. Let's get rid of it. It's tainted.
Yeah, they pushed you to get rid of it. Like, yeah,
Right.
You'll be the hero. And then turns out you just fucked up. And it doesn't even do anything because then you find Malin's data in fucking Andromeda. It's like, okay, you guys had backups. Cool. Where the fuck was that when I needed Eve to survive?
Right.
Oh, motherfucker. I saw a lot of people say they were underwhelmed with the Ket, and that's what kind of made me delve into it more because I agree. If they told me that Andromeda was a standalone game which we know it's not. It's going to have future and it's going to have DLC. But if you were to tell me, if I were to say Andromeda is not going to have anything more in the franchise, Mass Effect is dead, no DLC, nothing, then I would completely agree. I would be like, that was a shitty antagonist, really poorly thought out, not fleshed out at all. But I felt that way about the Geth. And I feel like there's too many, like you said, copy and paste, but I feel like there's too many parallels that I almost, I don't know if this is me just hoping for the best, but I think that's them like kind of subtly hinting to fans like, hey, connect the two, because this was such a small part of much bigger picture. So is this of another bigger picture. But I'm hoping, but you know, the series is on hiatus right now, so everything's kind of up in the air until the new IP gets released, and then the shift will go back to Dragon Age and Mass Effect. But
one thing I want to point out on a very grand scale is throughout the entire Mass Effect trilogy and with Mass Effect Andromeda is the identity theme. We're going from the Geth and the Geth discovering themselves and figuring who they are over to Mass Effect Andromeda and Sarah/Scott Ryder as the Pathfinder. Who am I as the Pathfinder? You know, who Cora is as a Commando. No, and also on top of that, who Jal and the rest of the Angarans are, as far as what kind of bomb just got dropped on us as far as where we came from and what we were meant for. So just small, meaningful nods as far as the identity theme. It feels intentional.
Yeah, I got that vibe too. I definitely got that vibe. And I feel like a lot of people that I see on the page, I'm literally just directing from comments I see on the page, because one of the pages is the Mass Effect page, and people are angry, and they feed off of each other's anger. Half the people that are angry never even gave the game a chance. Again, they're playing telephone with opinions, and each time the opinion gets relayed, it gets a little bit darker, a little bit dumber. But I feel like a lot of people are looking at it as if this is going to be the only one, and that's why I can understand that perspective. But I don't know. To me, BioWare games, no matter the franchise, have always been a puzzle. Like, they always have subtext after subtext after subtext. That's why 28 playthroughs of the trilogy, and I'm still finding shit I didn't find before. Like, that's amazing, because there's so many little things hidden that you don't connect till you see the bigger picture. And I don't know. I'm impatient. I want to figure out the puzzle now. Like, give me the puzzle now. Like, I need to know. But no, and you know me, Hoy. I have an obsessive personality. I can't hide that shit. So like, it's all I think about, like, constantly. Like their first 3 days Andromeda, you know, I had my hands on Andromeda. I didn't go to sleep those first 3 days. I literally just abstained off of coffee and work. Had my laptop, had my monitor, so play and work at the same time, and it was beautiful. Stash, what'd you think? What you got? Did we lose you? What do you think about the cat, Stash?
No, I think it's all pretty much been covered. For me, the cat, they were kind of uninspired for most of the game. I mean, even in the boss battle, it was kind of, you know, it kind of felt like, you know, that's it.
I could feel ya.
Did
you guys go back to the ship after you beat
first Mass Effect started? Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's like extra missions and stuff you get afterwards, and then Lexi like talks to you and stuff. A lot of people don't go back to the ship or anything. They beat the thing and they don't even talk to people at the Nexus. They don't have that like party. I will say, pro tip: the Sloan party on Kadara, get drunk. I didn't the first time, and then I did the second time, and I regretted my life choices the first time. Scott, well, the second time I played as Scott, and Scott did the most hilarious table dance, like striptease table dance, and then he like contemplated life on Sloane's bar or throne. Single-handedly one of the most funniest moments in the game.
I got work to do.
You gotta go back, man. You gotta go to the bartender, and she makes you answer 3 questions. It's a puzzle, and to earn her drinks because she's not
What's the
getting
name
paid.
of my bar?
Yeah, and to see if you're worthy of her free drinks, and it's like I didn't do it as Sarah,
like
but
figuring
I did
out puzzles, so don't tell me.
Oh no, I won't.
Okay.
But like he starts dancing normal, and then like it goes to black, and then it reappears, and he like climbs up on the table. He's like, woo! And then like he's like dancing on the throne, and then it goes to black, and then he like sits on the throne, and he's going like this, like Sloan does, and Sloan like walks up, like, what the fuck are you doing? He like walks off into shame. It's so funny. Like, if you guys are watching, or you watch at another point, because this is a live broadcast, you need to go back and do that. Oh, side note, just because I was saying about it. Okay, the new patch comes out with the Blasto shirt, but if you're really far into your playthrough and you already opened your Splice of Delivery, you can't access the new shirt. But I discovered this. Revert back to your first save when you first go on the boat, on the ship, and you get it, and then you have a manual save or a later save date, and then you could go back to your old save and you'll have the shirt. I haven't tried it myself, but somebody said they did it and it worked fine. I don't know how that works, because I would assume that would override your... Yeah, I would assume that overrode your save, but...
I think it may work like some RPGs I've played where there's this glitch. There was a glitch in Dragon Age where if you saved right before opening a chest, opened it, and then saved again, and then went back to the previous save, you can keep getting loot, and then just get all of it, or well, eventually get the one that you want, because it's yeah, I don't know. May work like that or something.
Alright, well, we're going to close this out here pretty soon, because this is going on a 2-hour stream. And that was not the intention. You guys have any closing thoughts for Andromeda, or anything you want to tell anybody?
Maybe I could speak on the cat.
I'm sorry! I'm so bad about I'm sorry, Bobo. The floor is yours, darling.
Maybe. Well, I won't go too deep. I think the cat experience in future games is going to be different than what we've experienced. I think it's not the end of them, and I don't know if I agree that there's going to be a higher thing than them, but based on different aspects of the game where you see that the Archon is running off script compared to the Ket experience, or Ket council, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was some sort of council, and the Archon was going way off script.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays. Now, going back to what LiLi said about the Know Your Enemy mission, it's interesting to see if your experience with the Cat Council will be more hostile because you didn't work with the cat to take out the Archon, or if it will be, if you did take that kind of steps, that, maybe they'll be a less dramatic and whatnot. I don't know. I can't speculate, but it'll be interesting to see the cat at its full potential with their big council behind them.
We could very easily see like an Empire Strikes Back kind of a thing with the second game, as far as shit getting extremely real with the cat. So that could happen.
Yeah,
There she is.
agreed.
Chewy definitely made a good point. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Indoctrination! I just read your chat. That's what it was. No. Indoctrination was when they mind fucked you. But what was when they like processed the species in the tubes? I thought that was called something.
As far as making it into the new Reaper,
Yeah.
off the top of my head, I don't know.
And they made like the husks and things. I don't know. What else?
I don't fucking know. Can't remember.
yeah, we covered a lot of shit. So I saw a couple people just jumped in. We covered what we liked about the game, what we didn't like, characters we loved, hated. We talked about expectations of what went into the game. You know, the fact that it was given half the budget, half the team, and a brand new newbie team. They had a lot of stuff going against them to create this game on such a large scale, and they were also working with new technology that this team had not previously worked with in a game that really wasn't conducive for that. We talked a lot. We joked, talked about butt stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff we talked about. This video is going to go up on our YouTube channel either tonight or tomorrow, so take a look at that if you want to like fast forward through some of our tech difficulties or the parts where we just kind of stared at each other because we're all like trying to think at the same time. But super rad conversation. Everybody we've got Chewy as co-owner, myself, LiLi, got Stash, writer, Ryan's a writer, Hoy is a writer / editor. Before we close out, what final thoughts do you guys have? It can be a recommendation for somebody who hasn't played it. It could be your sound off thoughts on the game itself. Whatever. What do you guys got? Or if not, we'll close it out. Oh, what are some of the things? We got a question. What are some of the things that you guys would like to be explored in the next game? I like that. What you guys think?
The biggest thing for me is to see the Drell and the Quarians and come back. Like, I was fine with Andromeda ending the way it was, with the anticipation of seeing the other races and possibly even more. Spoiler alert, but at the end you can read what's it called? A panel?
Dossier? Or a terminal.
And you hear communication from a Quarian ship. It's an SOS, essentially. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. I like it. What about you, Stash? What you excited about?
I'm hoping for at least the DLC we'll be able to explore that the final ship that's arriving. I want to know how they got there, because they turned around, right? So they, what's the time frame for them to get there? I don't know. Seeing the Quarians again and finding out how to get them, I think that'll be really interesting DLC.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. What about you, Ryan?
I think if you haven't played Mass Effect Andromeda yet, you absolutely deserve it to yourself to play it. It's a fantastic game. It is a worthy inclusion, although it's a little bit separate to the initial Mass Effect series. And also, don't forget that we do stream on twitch.tv/Don'tFeedTheGamers. So come and hang out with us on that as well. That's all I got.
Plug. The question in chat was, what are you looking forward to next in the next game?
Oh, I'm sorry, I completely missed that.
You're good. That was a good plug, man. I like
It's been
it.
a long day.
I love it.
Plugging intensifies. I want to see who the big bad is, because I'm all about that story. It'd be interesting to see how they top the Reapers, if they can, in fact, top the Reapers. You never know. Maybe it's something Reaper related, although I doubt it. So I will see, honestly. But to directly answer the question, I'd say whatever story BioWare comes up with.
I like it. What about you, Chill?
I can't wait to see the further evolution of things. I can't wait to see the further evolution of characters. It's been touched on the next more races, more different characters that you deal with, and like I was saying before, I just can't wait to see how your enemies develop. What we see more of the cat or future enemies.
What I want to see is kind of Ryan touched on it a little bit. What came to mind when he was talking about how they compare to the Reapers. If you do, one of the side quests that I feel like is absolutely imperative to get the full game experience is the memory triggers, finding all of the memory triggers. Because throughout this game, you got to understand, Ryder, none of these people know that the Reapers happen. Because when you remember, Shepard's team knew about the Reapers, but nobody in the galaxy was believing them, and they left prior to Mass Effect 3. So they don't know any of this happened. And spoiler, give you a second to mute. But spoiler, if you do the memory trigger, you actually hear the final SOSs. You hear Liara talking about it. You hear all these people talking about it. Liara kind of gives this final goodbye message of Shepard. We're going alongside. They mention Shepard. They're like, we're going alongside Shepard to fight this head on. It's not looking good. So basically, it's her final farewell, saying, Alec, I hope you made it okay. The future here is gone. I hope you can make a better future. Good luck to you. Hope we don't die. Peace. And I feel, and then you actually get a moment where somebody's talking, and then the transmission gets cut off, and all you hear is the wah, and like that sound was so nostalgic.
Brought back memories.
Yeah, and it really connected the two games, because for them to leave in the second one, that leaves so much narrative untouched. So now I want them to explore this, to be like, Ryder, to hear like, shit, what the fuck was that? What the fuck are these Reapers? They're real? I want them to explore that somehow, which I'm not sure how that's going to happen, because, again, it's a different galaxy. They're 600 years away. Everything has had 6 years to settle there. But I'm interested to see how because you know they're not just going to let that go. They're not going to be like, oh, well, everything was destroyed. Darn! Like, there's going to be some kind of retaliation in some way. I don't know if it'll be in relation to who the big power is behind the Ket, because obviously there's a power, like Mike Chu said, there's a council, there's a driving force behind the Ket. So I want to see in the next game, I want to learn about that driving force, and I want to learn about how they handle the Reapers, and how the events of that affect another galaxy, because the Reapers had the technology to transfer between galaxies. They weren't limited to one galaxy. So, you know, Shepard obviously destroys the Reapers, but how did that, destroying this big vacuum of power, how did that not affect the rest of the universe? I'd be interested to see how they play on that, or if they just let that story lie. I feel like if they let the story lie, that's going to be a huge missed opportunity. But yeah, those are my things. I want to learn about new worlds. I want to find new worlds. I want to find the driving points behind the Ket. And I want to learn more about the Reapers. I also want to see some of the characters that maybe didn't get the spotlight they deserved to get a little bit more time. I would love to see, they did the book, of course, but I would love to see some kind of, even if it's just a mini DLC of the Nexus Uprising, maybe a little side quest to learn about who Reyes was, because they were very secretive about him. Because there was a line, this isn't even about my obsession with Reyes, but there's a line where Scott asks, or Sarah asks, is that even your real name? And he goes, well, that's what my mother calls me. And I still feel like that was really evasive. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what your real name was. So I feel like there's a kind of an opportunity, not a full story, obviously, but maybe a side quest or a tiny DLC. Like the From Ashes DLC with Javik was very small and short. I feel like they could do that with Reyes. I would love to see more of a spotlight. Very cool. Like you said in chat, a Renegade Reaper, that would be really cool. Like there's so many, Ryan said, there's so many there's hundreds of directions that BioWare could go with. And then like Chu said, I'm just really excited. I love BioWare. They've never let me down. Even with the issues that I had with Dragon Age 2, I still appreciated the characters. They've never let me down. I just want to see more BioWare, and I want to see EA get off their fucking dick and let them do their job. I say politely. But yeah, that's what I want to see. I like that question though. That was made us think a little bit. Before we close out, if anybody has any other questions to ask the team, that was fun. That made me think about stuff that I didn't prior think, because I'm just so like wanting to see fucking Quarians in a DLC. I didn't even think about the second game.
I want to see Drell back, man. Like after the unfortunate romance with Thane.
Oh.
That funeral scene at the Citadel.
Yep.
The dagger through my heart, man.
Hoy had to bring the feels in.
I want to see a female Drell. You know, we got
Yeah,
to see
that'd be
her,
cool.
you know, yeah, like I would. Ooh, wouldn't that be cool? Like, remember how with the From Ashes DLC in Mass Effect 3, if you didn't do it, you didn't get the squad mate, the Prothean squad mate.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool if they had a little DLC like that, where like if you do it, you get like a Drell squad mate.
Mm.
I don't want a Hanar squad mate. They don't wear sweaters. But yeah, I think, yeah, Drell, sexy ass species. Oh.
As far as
sorry, Aquarians, take the suits off, boo.
Yes, they need to finally take the suits off, man, or somehow they need to figure something out, man.
Actually, as far as Quarians go, you have to remember that they cobble their fleets from whatever's available.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of floating lifeless Reaper tech around Earth now. So if you're looking for potential Quarian DLC, then that might be some way that could be implemented.
Well, they're on the way. The Quarians are on the way. They got derailed. They were leaving in the beginning of the game. They tell you that the Quarians were supposed to come with the rest of us.
That's right. They were on the arcs. Yep.
But they were like they had a short supply, so they're going to be coming at a later date. But at that point, a lot of the environmental issues were taken care of. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I would love to see it. But the thing that would be interesting too is because they didn't get to see their homeworld get retaken because again they left in the events of Mass Effect 2, not Mass Effect 3, so they didn't get to see their homeworld. But Meridian is supposed to have like the perfect atmosphere where it's like safe for all life forms. So I'm wondering if that also means it's safe for their sensitive systems, and if kind of because that like Kesh, the Krogan, the female Krogan, talks about when you talk to them about the genophage, she says, well, we have a natural ability to fight the genophage. We just usually die before it gets a chance to work itself through our systems. And she says, we've had 600 years to stabilize. So they kind of bought time to fight the genophage. I wonder if that's going to be the same thing with the Quarians. They've had 600 years to get their immune systems to stabilize in a completely controlled environment. That would be really cool to see. I think that's doable. BioWare, hire us. We got some ideas.
And you also have to imagine them fighting absolutely tooth and nail for a planet of their own, given the fact that they are still, as far as they know, nomads. You know.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it looks like we don't have any other questions. So.
Does anyone else have to add or have something to add though?
Kind of
like
what we were.
It's
kind of what we were doing a little bit earlier.
Not really.
Yeah. That's kind of what we
I guess maybe on like further playable squad mates, I would like to see an Elcor as a squad mate. That would be cool.
I like it.
Looks at you angrily.
Yeah.
I love it. Except they say I want more butt. Agreed. Agreed. All right. So we are going to sign off. A couple things before we sign off. This has, of course, been the writing team for Don't Feed the Gamers, Chewy and LiLi. Myself, it's LiLi. Obviously, he's not LiLi. We're the owners.
Might be.
He might be.
You could be.
It's 2017. We're the owners. If you want to check us out, we have a full team of writers. We've got 12 writers at this moment. Work around the clock to bring you guys news first, reviews, really cool shit on the site. Check it out, don'tfeedthegamers.com. We are a fully sponsored licensed news source, which happened in recent months. So that's cool that we are actually a verified source now, which is pretty friggin' sweet. You guys should check that out, don'tfeedthegamers.com. If you guys haven't checked us out on Facebook, it's Facebook at Don't Feed the Gamers Official, Twitter at YouFedTheGamers. Also, I don't know if you guys see, there is a little bar. Obviously not required, but it is a chip jar. Chew and I are going to E3 this year. Unfortunately, our sponsor pulled out at the last second. It's very expensive flying from Chicago. And hotels, it's LA, so it's very expensive. So any and all donations are definitely appreciated. Not required, of course, but if you like our content, get us there. I'm very excited to rep Don't Feed the Gamers again this year at E3. So we're very excited. We also stream. Brian streams every Tuesday. at 8 p.m. Chew and I stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And our editor, Eric, also streams on Thursdays at 9 p.m. And that's all, of course, Central Time. So, yeah, hang out with us. We definitely appreciate you guys being here watching. I know this was a very, very long podcast. Kind of got derailed a couple times. Was not meant to be 2 hours. So thank you for hanging out with us. Check it out later. We're going to have it up on our YouTube at Don't Feed the Gamers if you want to check it out at a later date. And thank you guys for hanging out with us very much. Chew's going to sign off on us, but we will catch you guys next time. Bye.
All right. Bye.